Today, I want to address this issue of this great musician called Dennis MUTARA. I think every Kikuyu knows that man. And to be honest, I'm very, very sad because Dennis MUTARA is a very, very talented musician. About 10 to 15 or to 20 years ago, he was very popular. The guy was giving us hits after hits. The guy had no scandals. The guy was one of the greatest musicians from the Kikuyu land. No controversy, just preaching the gospel, and he was very popular. But in the past few years, the guy appeared after going silent for many years. He was sickly, he was involved in accidents, he was over drinking, and some people have been trying to help him, you know them. But of late, about 2 or 3 days ago, there was another incident whereby this philanthropist, Karango Amuraya, was trying to help this guy. And I felt that it is sometimes good to be honest because I'm a very truthful person and I say things as they are. This issue of Dennis MUTARA is not an ordinary normal issue. It is something that is beyond normal human understanding. And it is not only unique to Dennis because there are people who go through things which they assume, which they have no idea what is going on because these things are not straightforward on what exactly someone is facing. And I want to say, in my opinion, there are three questions I'm asking myself. Is MUTARA sick? I believe he is sick. I totally believe he is sick. That's why he is in hospital as we speak, looking or seeking medical attention. Is MUTARA cursed? I don't believe in curses because I believe that there is no human being who can be able to curse, especially if it is not something deserving. Is it spiritual warfare? Exactly. Now, to me, that is spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare is a fight which is mostly targeted towards people who are supposed or who are meant to be saviors of their families. Pastor T has given me so much information on this topic. He is a master in it. He's my friend. And I think for Dennis, let's be honest, this is spiritual warfare, which can manifest itself in so many ways. Number one is drunkenness. Number two is diseases. Number three is accidents, marital breakdowns, deaths, and all that. In every poor family, God tries to raise a savior. But if you are the savior, you are going to face so many hurdles and hardships. And I believe MUTARA, if I could be right or wrong, but MUTARA could be the most successful person from his family. And because now the agents of evil realize that he is the person to change his family, he is going through a lot of war. Luckily, he is still alive, so he still stands a chance to be redeemed. However, if you are coming from a family that is poor, that is low, and you are the savior, be assured that you won't be facing ordinary war or ordinary issues of life. I want to give an example of someone who was very popular called Samuel Wanjiro. He died in 2011. That guy, in less than 3 years, he had earned over 500 million Kenya shillings from marathon. And he holds the record for the youngest winner of a gold medal in a marathon since 1932. But that guy died when he was at his prime, when he thought he would be the biggest thing. I think he would be at the level of Eliud Kipchoge right now. But the guy died very prematurely in very controversial manner. Why? Because when you are meant to save your family, unless you are very careful, there are so many things that will attack you, from marital issues, accidents, brokenness, and you go through a period which, if you overcome, you'll be able to redeem your family. Look at the history of someone like Jomo Kenyatta. He went through so many challenges. Look at the history of any popular person who came from a poor family. They struggled until they made it. So for me, I believe MUTARA should seek medical attention, and I wish him a quick recovery. But I believe he needs to consult people who are professional counselors. I'm not talking of those traditionalists who are going back to some funny tradition of virtues and lies. I'm talking of professional counselors who can come on board and advise him and tell him, hapa ni kubaya. And then number two, he needs to seek his ways, amend his ways, especially with God, because I don't think this is a normal war that he's facing. But as long as he is living, it seems he stands a second chance. And I want to finish this video by saying that if you come from a family and you are the only successful person, you need to take extra caution, because the kind of war that you'll face are not normal. When you see some people living privately, when you see people not disclosing where they stay, not disclosing their spouses, not disclosing their children, always having pistols, bodyguards, don't think they're proud, don't think that they don't have anything to the public. It's because there's so much strong spiritual warfare that is targeted to any person who is meant to save his family from shackles of poverty. And I always say this: if you are the most successful person or the only successful person in your family, try to uplift another person so that that target will not, you won't be the only target. You disperse it. But if you are the only target, unless you are very powerful, unless you have a lot of self-control, you lose the battle. So that is my opinion, that Dennis, he is sick, he needs medical attention, but after this, he needs to sit down and look into his life, know where he lost focus, know what went wrong. And personally, I'm willing to support the guy where I can. He's a big name, and he should go back to who he has always been.